All right, guys, welcome back to episode 7 of Howlin' at the Mic. Not live today, just because we got a few internet issues over there in Madison, Wisconsin. So coming at you guys on National Inbox Zero Day. Chris, how are you celebrating National Inbox Zero Day?
I have no clue what National Zero Inbox Day is.
What do you
I
think
can
it is? What do
address
you think it is? What do you think it is?
Zero Inbox Day.
National Inbox Zero Day.
You got no mail in your inbox? I don't
Yeah,
what
you
is
do.
it?
Yeah, you might
Clear out
mark
your
mark all your emails as red, get a fresh start every October 6th. It's kind of a big day, so you know.
That's huge actually, because I just keep my read emails at like 900, so I have 900 unread emails, and when it goes over 900, like when it's 901, I'm like, oh, I have an unread email. I got to go check it. Text messages, I have like 300 something like that unread. So I'm probably the worst person when it comes to clearing out their boxes
So
as
you
we
gotta
are discussing.
so you gotta celebrate that today, I guess, and then set it to zero, get a fresh start.
I can do that. I can do that. Also, I don't know if there's anything I can do about my internet issues. So hopefully we're clean here, but you might
Hey,
be
if we're
seeing them
not,
cutting in and out.
if we're not, it's all right.
It's all right.
All right. You ready to get in the first topic, Chris?
Let's do it, man.
All right. First topic today is the first preseason game. Wolves beat the Heat 121-111. Some stats that stand out: Jaden McDaniels 10 points, Anthony Edwards 24, Jalen Noel 14, Torian Prince 19, and Nate Knight with a quiet 14. Chris, what are your initial thoughts on the game?
Yeah, impressive performances throughout, honestly, was the biggest takeaway for me. And I think another big takeaway is, those people saying we're not going to have any depth after this trade. I think you're very mistakenly wrong. Torian Prince, I thought, did a lot of really good things. You saw the defense playing out a lot. I thought this. I don't know if it's just the shots different to me or it's just that they're going in, but the shot looks really good, better than last year. I think the decision process of whether the shooter drive, the efforts there. I think TP's that type of guy that's taken over the Pat Bev role this year. So it's
Mm,
nice to see that type of intensity, even in a preseason game. We'll touch on it later in my segment, which is to be named.
to be named.
Um, I thought Bryn Forbes had a really impressive debut today. Get in more of that later. I thought Austin Rivers struggled a bit, but good on ball defense. Obviously, Anthony Edwards, I thought, played terrific. The mid range game is completely different from what it was last year. We were saying, no, 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 we need to take a mid range
Yep.
shot last year. This year, he's getting to his spot, and I think he knocked down every single mid range shot I saw him see. So those were my big takeaways from the game. I'd like to hear some of yours.
Yeah, so I'll get into more of in my segment, Peyton's player. We'll be getting more into a specific player, Jaden McDaniels. Kind of want to dive into his performance. Very efficient game. But a few things I noticed right away, man, is like you were saying, the depth of this team is way better than we thought it was going to be. I mean, we didn't have arguably three of our four best players. I don't even argue. We didn't have three of our four best players, and we still scored 62 points in the first half. We looked pretty well in control. We looked like a solid team. Like I was even questioning if this team could beat our team a couple years ago when we were really struggling. So that was great to see. Kind of weird to see Kyle Anderson out there repping the number 5. Every time I'd look out there, I thought it was my guy Malik Beasley. So that was a little weird. It was also weird having the Heat announcers. Did you have the Heat announcers when you were watching? Was that the same all the way around?
Yeah, I think they were only doing the Miami broadcast tonight.
Okay, that makes more sense because you're not going to want to travel someone down to Miami for a preseason game. But, so yeah, I'm still excited to listen to our new play-by-play guy. His name's slipping me right now, but
Michael Grady.
Michael Grady. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. But it was cool listening to how they perceive the Timberwolves, the Heat announcers. They were talking about how fast we are, how run and gun we play. And when you watch the Timberwolves and like when you're a Timberwolves fan, you kind of forget about it's just not as prevalent because you're so used to it. But like from outside eyes looking in, it was cool to hear how they think of the Timberwolves. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big takeaway from this first preseason game. I mean, that's tough to really tell what the season's going to look like from one preseason game. But I think this team's just going to be again a really hard team just to go beat, like go travel to Minnesota and beat them. I think a really good comparison for them is the Jazz from the past few years. I mean, it's not like Utah is like the most dominant team, but they're always getting the top three seed, 1, 2, or 3. They're always just like a really tough team to beat. Like I think that's going to be kind of the story of this team. Hopefully that can translate to the playoffs too. But I mean, you've seen. I mean, Jimmy Butler was out, but the Heat are another one of those teams that's really hard to beat, and we handled them, I thought, fairly easily. I mean, we didn't even play with our big three, and we
Right.
kind of
That's the depth
dismantled
was
them with the bench.
the depth was very good to see, and how we were talking earlier, like everyone's saying, oh, we got rid of so much for Rudy Gobert. They were showing the graphic, the classic graphic on the screen where it's like Wolves get Rudy Gobert, they give up huge list of like all their assets, but honestly, I think our bench is better than it was last year. Naz Reid didn't look half bad. I thought he played pretty solid. I know his minutes aren't going to be what they usually are, but I was impressed by Naz Reid. So yeah, Chris, we got to think of a segment name for you guys. For you, me and Chris are thinking about each having our own little segment in each episode. So we'll have a name segment. It can really be whatever we want. Gives us a little creative freedom. But Chris, for today, he wants to break down Bryn Forbes and talk a little bit more about what he originally thought of Bryn Forbes' debut in the white and navy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the I think the Bryn Forbes signing starting off there was just such an underrated one to say the least. I mean, you got a guy who was a real contributor for that Milwaukee Bucks championship team. And with the departures of some guys, Malik Beasley especially, there was going to be a shooting void. I think that especially needed to be filled up with this team. Because you look at the starting lineup and you go, D'Lo, Ant, Jaden, Karl, Gobert, and you look there, and Cat's really the only proven proficient 3-point shooter out of that bunch. So you inject someone like a Bryn Forbes off the bench, and I think you've seen it last night. I mean, what did he scored 19 points off, or no, 15. I'm sorry,
15 points on
15.
2 for 3 from three, 4 for 6 from the field.
Yeah, and it's a really weird comparison. I don't know why I was thinking of it this way. I'm not saying he's that player at all, but you know how the Warriors use all those off ball screen setting, and that's kind of this like he looked like Steph Curry off ball to an extent. He was running through picks, going around screens, passing when needed, shooting when open. Like I think Bryn Forbes was the most fundamentally sound player out on that court the other night, and I think he's going to be a real threat from 3-point land. I think Torian kind of showed us that too. So we have, two. I mean, you could count Forbes as a guard, but two wingers who are going to be able to shoot the three at a hopefully pretty high clip. Bryn Forbes close to 40%, and you kind of see Noel too. And I thought Noel did a really good job of hitting those spot up threes the other night. Some creation for 3-pointers too. So I think while the starting lineup may kind of be that fast, physical, really high-paced offensive team, I think you're going to see the bench kind of be a different vibe of like kind of freelancing, that more 5-out offense we saw last year. So I'm just really excited. There's so many different styles of play going on here. We can do the twin towers. We can go put a really athletic lineup out there that's going to get to the rim, and now we know we can space out the floor a little bit if we need to. So
Yeah,
I think those were my impressions.
and it's just always great to have a shooter. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I feel like we haven't really had very consistent 3-point shooting, even though I know we're up in the high in the league and 3-pointers made. You made a great point before we went live. He looks like you said he looked like Malik Beasley, but he only takes good shots,
Yeah.
which is a great way to describe it because that was Malik's downfall. Is like, yeah, he just shoots and shoots and shoots, and yeah, he'll make 5 some game, but he'll also go 0 for 13 the next game. Like he's just so confident. But it seems like Bryn Forbes, he's always in the right spot. It's almost like he was a player that played for Greg Popovich or something like that. He seems
It's almost like that was a thing.
yeah, he seems very fundamental. Again, and like when we have a player like Anthony Edwards, who is a young, developing player who's not very fundamental, I'd say it's great to have guys like Bryn Forbes, Kyle Anderson to balance it out almost and act as like, and just kind of even it out a little bit.
That was what I was just about to say too. I thought the Kyle Anderson, Bryn Forbes connection. I don't know if it is Popovich related, but those guys were playing off each other so well, especially with Kyle handling the ball and all the off ball movement from the bench. So it's going to be exciting. This is a really really. I can't wait till the 19th, man. I think players like Bryn Forbes and Kyle Anderson, kind of just the chill guys. They're super serious. They're guys that are going to be able to weather a storm, be leaders on the team. It's guys like that are on championship teams. So
It's like
I,
we're used to being so young, and now we're finally getting. Like last year, our only veteran was Pat Bev, but now this year we get rid of him. We add, I guess I don't know how old Pascal is, but he seems like a veteran. But we had
25, I think.
yeah, we had Pascal, we had Anderson, we had Bryn Forbes, and now we're starting to develop a more mature and just kind of they've been around the block a little bit with these guys.
Another guy too, maybe like Chris's crossover, but another guy,
Chris is cross.
AJ. He was kind of an underrated signing. He was a summer leaguer for the Dallas Mavs, averaging around I think 18 points in the summer league. Sharpshooter. I don't know if you saw him out there, 0-0 the other night. I was like, who is this guy? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's AJ Lawson. That guy prediction is going to make the team and going to be a 40% 3-point shooter. The guy at corner threes is absurd.
All right,
Just a prediction.
Mark that one. A funny stat now that we're talking about the vets on the bench, dude. Eric Pascal. I didn't like look into him until I was watching that game. But how tall do you think he is?
He's like, isn't he like one of those 6'5" big men?
Yeah, he's like
pretty
6'5.5", 250 pounds or something.
like a PJ Tucker type.
Yeah, I thought he was like a 6'10" guy, but no.
He had a tough game, but I see the good that I think he can provide. I think he got out rebounded a little bit, but I did like his physicality on defense. So
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go into Peyton's player. This name is not. It's not set in stone. You know, I was trying it out. I kind of wanted to see what it looked like on the layout, and I'm also realizing now that I deleted the timer from my computer, so there's no timer today. So we're just kind of free balling it. This is, it's a little out there of an episode, but we're just getting in the flow. But Peyton's player today is Jaden McDaniels, and I love talking about Jaden McDaniels. That's honestly kind of why I made him my player of the day. But my initial reactions from the game is the defense is still there. I know people said he added weight, but he, at least from my perspective and at least the angles we were seeing, he kind of looked skinnier or taller and lengthier than I remember. I don't know, maybe
taller
it was the hair.
Sure.
Yeah, it was
Maybe
just he looked very skinny. Like he looked like Chet Holmgren out there.
Dude, he just looked big. Like he just looked like not massive because he's not filled out, but he just looked really big out on the court.
He looked like Ed, did you see all those highlights of that guy from France or Australia?
Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, dude, he looked like that almost. Like not that big. It didn't have the 7'11" wingspan, but I don't know, man. He goes 4 for 5 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3, which is exact. If he puts up this stat line every game this season, I will be more than happy with a 10-point game from Jaden McDaniels. Maybe you could up the rebounds a little bit, but that's really all he needs to do. Is he needs to guard their best player. He was guarding Tyler Hero, and he needs to shoot efficiently, and he needs to get some rebounds. So I was really happy with what I saw from Jaden McDaniels. And my big statement
That looks good.
Yeah, the shot looks good. And my big statement is Jaden McDaniels, when he's playing like he did 2 nights ago, I think he is the key that makes us a championship contender. If you have a fifth man that can do that, guard the best player, I think he is the reason why we might make a run at it this year or next year. So,
yeah, I think it's cool too because you can kind of get a look into the future of what's going to be, who's going to be on the Timberwolves in 6 years from now, and it's going to be those two staples, Ant and Jaden. A play I really wanted to highlight was they got out on a fast break, and you saw some of Jaden's ball handling, splits the defenders, looked very in the past. I feel like he's looked a little uncoordinated on the court, not in a bad way. I think it's just a lot of the way the tall guys are. But the way he was dribbling and finessed his way to the rack and just had a perfect scoop layup, it was something we haven't really seen from him, the playmaking aspect of Jaden. So I think that was a really cool play and a really good step in the right direction there. And And I think he's gonna have, some bigger opportunities in this offense, even though we just added some more mouths to feed. I think there's a place for him cutting to the rack. There's a place for him coming off screens, and for him to do that, he's got to be able to dribble the ball and pass in this offense. So it's something he's worked on. And I hope it shows.
Well, something I also want to highlight is if he's the fifth option offensively for us, then I mean theoretically speaking, science here, speaking big words, he should be having the fifth worst defender on him from the other team. So he's going to be able to take advantage of some mismatches. So if he's the 3 and he's 6'11", he's going to always have a guy that's smaller on him because they're going to have to worry about Cat and Gobert. So he's going to have so many mismatches this year. It's incredible. He's going to be posting up and getting fed for days. So I really do think he's going to have a big part in this offense.
Isn't it hilarious how we've been talking about Jaden McDaniels for the past 3 or 4 minutes here, and we haven't even mentioned his defense yet? That's how
right.
That's exciting of a player he is.
Yes, and
we haven't even mentioned his best attribute yet.
I saw a funny meme on Twitter. I thought it was real for a second, but it was like, I think Kyle Teague or whatever his name is tweeted out. It was Teggy, I don't know, but it was like it was the GM like survey, and it was like 79% of GMs would take Jaden McDaniels if they could take any player right now to have on their team. And it's just like, obviously that's not true, but I feel like every GM wants Jaden McDaniels. Everyone, he's the most like known about, underrated player in the NBA, I'd say. Like a casual fan doesn't know who he is, but all the GMs, all the coaches, all the players know who he is, even like top players in the league, because he's the guy who's freaking guarding them and they hate it.
Yeah, I think he's got a real shot to make an all-defensive team this year, and
he should. And he said it too.
Yeah, I don't take that lightly because I think putting one of the better on-ball defenders in the NBA in Jaden McDaniels. The dude is 6'11", and he's a great on-ball defender, and then putting a 7'2", probably the best one of the best rim protectors in NBA history right behind him. That's a lethal defensive combo in the starting lineup. So talking like this just gets you excited for we haven't even got to see our arguably three most productive players on the court yet.
But
this is already what we're already so excited about what we saw last night.
Yeah, I think it was cool. I'm happy that the big 3 didn't play because it got us a chance to see these other guys, and it kind of gave them a chance to shine. And I got one more point to make about my Peyton's player of the day, about Jaden McDaniels. I feel like the thing he struggles with most is confidence offensively. He's got the skills, he's got the shot. I think it's kind of a thing where you can literally see the confidence start to ooze out once he makes one play. You can literally see him getting more confident. His body language changes. He wants the ball. He wants to make a play. But I feel like what he needs to work on the most is going into every game with that confidence. I think what we see from him so much in the past is it takes one basket for him to get confident. And like sometimes that basket takes until the third quarter for him to hit the first basket. And so that's a whole half of basketball where he's not engaged offensively. So if he can learn how to, it's not something you learn. I don't know. If he can just get that confidence from the start of every game, I think that is when he will take that leap.
Yeah, to kind of add on to that too, I thought I'm not a huge fan of like preseason because I'm really scared of like guys getting injured. And when Jaden hit knees with Tyler Hero, I was like, take him out. Luckily that he's fine. They took him out. I'm like, that's how you manage it. But also the guy he hit knees with last night, I wanted to mention Tyler Hero just got the ginormous contract. I was a little skeptical of him getting the money, but last night I thought he looks like a pretty complete player. I mean, I don't know about his defense, but it seemed like over 20. That guy he was getting to his spots, hitting threes. I thought he looked really good in the pick and roll. So,
hey, all right, Chris, I think we're gonna get into our favorite segment of the show, and I'm also realizing now that my template for our 2-person screen I also deleted from my computer, so it's not there. But hey, what are you gonna do?
Okay.
So, Chris, favorite segment, where's Juancho? We just wanted to break down quickly how Juancho, our favorite player, how he's done in his first 2 games with the Raptors. So, first game, he finished 1 for 3 from the field, 3 rebounds, and 3 points. The And then we're going to go to his second game against the Celtics. He finished 0 for 1 from the field, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 0 points. So, we like to keep tabs on our boy Juancho. Hopefully he can step it up a little bit, but I don't know.
I mean, I don't even think I have anything of substance to add to that. But keep calling Juancho. We're rooting for you.
That's why we didn't want to make it one of the 6 topics we talk about. I think we can just throw it in there after Peyton's player, and just give you guys the update on Juancho every single time. We're mostly doing this for our favorite fan, Greg Weasley, because we know he's a Juancho guy. We know the story. We know the jerseys. We know the broken marriage because of Juancho. So we just want to kind of give him that the knowledge. All right, Chris, next topic, Jalen Noel expectations. You could either go with this on his season expectations or how his contract's looking next year. I'll let you start this one out.
Just Jalen Noel in a nutshell, honestly, I think is a good way to put this.
Sure.
Put just Jalen Noel. And I think, I don't know, I was thoroughly impressed with my man Jalen Noel last night. We're Jaden McDaniels fan club here, and we're also Jalen Noel fan club here at Holwin at the Mic podcast. I thought defensively, the thing he struggles with the most, I thought he looked solid. I think there was a lot more effort, especially getting the starting role here in the preseason to go out and put some effort out defensively so you can stay on the floor when called upon. And I think, man, he can just score the basketball. I think we already know what he can do, like driving and hitting the mid-range and the floaters and finishing. But I thought another thing he added the other night was off the screen again. I think off-ball movement is going to be a thing that's going to keep coming up. And Jalen Noel was hitting those catch-and-shoot threes. And usually we just see him, off the dribble, hesitation, three. But no, it was good seeing him come off some picks, hit some open threes. And I think he's in store for a decently large contract next offseason because you look at the production he's going to get. He's going to be coming off. He's going to be the first one off the bench here with some probably lower usage players like McLaughlin or I don't know if that's true because, it depends on the rotations, but he's going to get a bigger opportunity this year.
Yeah.
And trying to re-sign him at the beginning of this season was a good move by Tim Connolly. I think Jalen Noel made the right decision on betting on himself this season. I think the rumored deal was supposedly 3 years, around $21 million, and I think Jalen Noel's more than a $7 million annual player. I think he's more in the 12 to 15 million range. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know if we're going to be able to retain him long term. I hope we can, but it is going to be tough. With Ant coming up. D'Lo will be coming off the books, but Ant and Jaden are probably going to get two of the filler. Ant's going to get the 35 mil rookie scale, 5 years, and then Jaden is hoping probably for around 15 to 20 million a year. But then you still have Rudy Gobert and you still have Cat, so it'll be interesting. I just want him to shine this year and definitely want him to get paid. So
yeah, especially you. We're self-proclaimed Jalen Noel fan club. I think we can both agree on this, that if he's not in a Timberwolves jersey next year, but he's on a different team getting paid, starting, making an impact on maybe one of the worser teams in the NBA or on a championship team, I don't think that either of us would be upset. I think we'd be, quite happy for the guy because he's just, I don't know, I feel like he is so not undervalued because I know that everyone loves him, but I feel like he could do so much more than what he's doing for this team. And I just want to see what happens when he gets let loose.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see. I am really interested to see who they work him in with because it's just hard. The guard rotation's hard. It was hard last year too, trying to fit all the guards in the rotation. It's going to be hard again this year. I mean, I think Jordan McLaughlin showed you this first game that he deserves to be a rotational player. He deserves to get minutes. Didn't he get like 5 or 6 steals or something like that? He had 4. He had a great game defensively. I thought he really, really had a good connection going with Nas. I mean, we know that.
We love that connection. We love that connection.
But it'll be interesting to see how they pair him in the rotation. I don't know if he'd do better with a player like D'Lo. I think he probably would be better in that role off of D'Lo or with McLaughlin. Gobert. Yeah, rather than an Ant or Cat. I just don't think he'd fit as well in that type of scheme. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm really excited for Finch. By the way, this isn't really Jalen Noel related, but GMs. I think this is actually just the odds too, but the odds-on favorite to win Coach of the Year this year is our man Chris Finch. He is the number one
Let's go.
leader.
I
So
love Finch,
minus
bro.
900 or plus 900. Get your bets on him right now.
Hey, we need to get a bet sponsorship on here, huh?
Mm-hmm.
A few more Jalen Noel things I want to touch on is this is what I say all the time, but he literally can get his shot off anytime, no matter what. And especially in the past seasons when our offense has gone stagnant, you give him the ball, he gets up a good shot every single time. And it's not like D'Angelo Russell. When D'Angelo Russell gets up a shot, you're like, oh, like what the hell was that? Jalen Noel, he can get off a good looking shot anytime. Like it's just, I love that. And then another thing, what you're talking about coming off the screens, if he can learn from a guy like Bryn Forbes, Austin Rivers, on how to get easy shots. Because also when he's creating all these shots for himself, it's a lot of effort being put into him. He has to work very hard. But if he can just start getting these easy shots, like Malik Beasley type wide open threes off a cut, off a screen, I think that'll even help him out even more as a player because he'll have more energy for defense. He'll just, it'll make it a little bit easier on him.
He's got to. I know one of his better skills is creation, but he's got to be able to, work off ball, especially with McLaughlin and D'Lo being ball dominant guards. It's going to be important for him to do that.
But yeah, I kind of want to get in now to our guy KarlAnthony Towns. He was out with an illness. I think it said he lost like 20 to 30 pounds, hospitalized with a throat infection. I don't know anyone who could hear that and not be slightly concerned. But yeah, I don't even know what to think. It's so random and just kind of, it's alarming almost.
Yeah, I guess I'm not feeling too great about where he's at right now. And that sucks because I guess I don't know if this is a for sure thing, but kind of seeing what a lot of the other insiders are posting is it's not something that's just like, oh, you're back into basketball now. Like he hasn't done any physical contact work at all. He's just been working one-on-one individual shooting drills. He's down 20 to 30 pounds. He looks really skinny on the court. He looks like 225, 230 right now. It's not a surefire thing that he's going to be available for the first game. And I think that's got to be the thing here. He looks really pale. He just looks different. He looks completely different. A good thing he's in good spirits though, and he's out at least doing some shooting stuff. But let's not, it's not a guarantee he's going to play that first game. And I think we probably rest him for the preseason here. I mean, getting that sick probably takes a pretty big toll on your body, physically, and also just I'm sure the stamina is low right now. It's we don't really know what the illness is. We don't know anything about it. Could be the 1-9 related. Don't know.
It's not non-COVID related.
No, I mean it could be from vaccine. We shouldn't even get into that. But it's we don't know what it is. I think that's the thing that's
it's alarming. It's kind of
scary. Yeah,
it's just kind of like not something that you like. Oh, your best player goes to the hospital for a throat infection. Like it's just like, whoa, he loses 30 pounds. It's just, that's kind of it's weird. And then now he's back and it's just, I don't know really how to think about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. That's the part that's killing me too, is we haven't heard too much about it. And usually that means it's like, they're probably keeping it quiet for something. I mean, so I think we can weather the storm if he's not here for the first week or so. We got an easy schedule. So, I mean, it's going to be okay.
And it might help us. It might honestly, if you were looking at a positive in every situation, it might help Gobert kind of get his chemistry with everyone else, kind of, and then you bring in Cat, and then I guess they won't have the chemistry, but I don't know. It's kind of a good stepping stone easing into Gobert.
Do we know if Gobert and D'Lo are playing tonight? By the way, they were recording this.
I think I saw that they were going to play, but I also, for some reason, when I was reading it, I thought I saw that Cat was also going to play, but I know that that's most likely not true. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Gobert just played that entire.
Gobert
he's
will
NBA ready. He is.
I think so. I
Yeah.
swear I saw or heard someone talking about that D'Lo and Gobert will be playing, but
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I'm not a huge fan of preseason, but I think you do need, especially with new teammates here. I think you need at least one quarter of those guys, and
yeah.
after a quarter, I think you especially sit Gobert down with all the mileage on his body this summer, and I think D'Lo was dealing with some soft tissue thing. Isn't that the reoccurring theme? But
D'Lo's got something, bro. Always. He
some contusions. Isn't that how they always said it?
Yeah, dude,
Contusions,
he just loves
quad
sitting out.
contusions.
I think he's gonna be a great coach in the future. I think. Um, but yeah, I think he just loves being a coach. I think he loves like sitting on the sideline, coaching the guys, like wearing his cool outfits. Like I think that's what D'Lo loves the best. So I think he's all for that. Going into that game tonight, this should be posted here very soon. So we'll have this out today. But going into the Lakers game preview, the storyline, everyone's talking about it. Pat Bev, Uncle Pat, we're joining him again. I don't know. I'm sure LeBron won't play. It just preseason basketball is hard, but again, we're gonna be able to watch these new guys again. So I
I
don't know.
think I mean LeBron played in their last preseason game there in Vegas. I think. I
Wasn't
don't
it
know,
last
man.
night though? Because it was
Oh,
a
true.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He wouldn't play two in a row, but I think Westbrook will probably play. I'm sure Pat Bev is going to want to play. I don't know, man. That Lakers team is just everything you hear about them is so dysfunctional from the top down. Like you hear about them trying to trade their last like first round picks for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. You know, you still got Russell Westbrook making 44 million. Anthony Davis is hurt again. I don't know if you saw that. He's hurt already. It's just like
But
this
dude,
is the Lakers storyline.
yeah, but the thing I think is that's kind of weird is everyone already counted them out. Like most people don't have them in their top 8 in the West, but like if I'm the Timberwolves and just say worst case whatever, we're in the play-in and we have to play the Lakers, like in an elimination game, I'm not wanting to play LeBron James in a play-in game. Like I would
No,
never. That's what like I feel like they're very underrated in the West. Like I still think they could make a run. Like they have freaking AD and LeBron. And
yeah.
like you know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like
Yeah, the GM poll I think had them at seventh or eighth best team in the West. So I mean they have them as a playoff team. It's just it's the fact of the matter I think is they lost Malik Monk too, which was their like one of their main scorers. So it's like I don't think they had a really good offseason. Like Lonnie Walker, some of the other. I think Pat Bev was a good addition, but
well
I
they
think some of
lost
those.
Horton Tucker as well.
Yeah. So I
Who did
mean,
they trade for him? Who did they get back? Because I thought he was untouchable. I thought he was one of like their Jaden McDaniels type guy. Like I
I
don't
don't know
even
who they got. I
who
know they
they
got Schroeder signed with them too. I mean, I don't know. It'll be it's always fun watching the Lakers. I mean, it'll be a good game tonight. I'm sure. Be some energy. I think. What Ant say is not worried about Pat Bev. He better be worried about me.
did he say that?
Yeah, he said someone asked him if he's worried about Pat Bev. He said Pat Bev better be worried about me.
I love that man. You know it's all love between those guys. Like it's just
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be it's gonna be almost tear jerking to watch like how like I can just imagine him like running past a screen getting caught up with like Ant or something and just like holding on to him and just kind of like joking around. Like I don't know. I feel like the refs are gonna be confused the whole game. No
yeah,
one's gonna it's gonna be like a practice last year and we never got to see the practices. So it'll be cool to kind of see what those relationships were like.
yeah. It's gonna be a good game. I like. Oh man, the 19. It's less than what is it like 13 days away, right?
13 days away. Good
Less than
math.
2 weeks. So I mean, it's coming. It's coming here soon. We
What
just got to
day of
get
the
everyone
week?
ready.
What day of the week is the 13th?
Oh, that's a good question. It is the 19th on a Wednesday that we will be playing the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I think we streamed that shit, huh? I got trivia night, but I'll be skipping trivia night to stream the game if Chris is available. If Chris is available. I mean, it'd be
Yes, I
great.
think Chris will be available for the live stream tonight or on Wednesday. So that'll be fun. It'll be good to get back into the streams again. Or,
Oh, that's how we get the viewers, man. That's how we really reel you guys in. is with the
Yeah,
streams.
that's I think we gained like 80 subscribers in the Bucks game last year. So I know you guys like the live streams. It'll
I
be
love them,
fun.
dude. They're fun. It's just hard to do them on like non-important games. Like when
Mhm.
we were doing like the freaking Kings game last year, and like the best part about those is and I don't do this for the views, but when you have a lot of people in the chat and everyone's just like communicating with each other, like that's when it's fun. When everyone's like talking shit in the chat, like it's great when we have a bunch of people and everyone's kind of into the game with us as well.
Yeah, I think what else? Do we have another topic or is it
No, this is it. This is the last topic. We kind of
another
zoomed through
another
'em.
note to mention? I don't know if we mentioned it, but not 100% for sure, but 90% for sure. I think next Wednesday, the man of the hour, Darren Wolfson, will be coming on joining us. So hopefully that can come through. I gotta email him back here and confirm it, but you guys will get a dose of Darren. I think it'll be his fourth or fifth time on here. We usually do pretty well with Dukes, so yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
we hold our own. It's kind of like I don't know. Like at first we're very nervous to talk to Doogie, but now it's just kind of like an old friend that you're seeing.
Yeah,
That you love.
just let Doogie talk. That's all you
Let
need to do.
Doogie talk. Just shut up. Let Doogie talk. Ask him a question. Let him go, and he'll drop you some close sources that he knows, and you might get lucky and hear something that no one has heard yet, and it might be breaking on the Howlin' at the Mic podcast. So
Might ask about Rondé again.
Rondé.
Get some info on how Rondé's doing, but
Chris, one last thing, my guy. We just got out of the Zach Bryan concert this Sunday. If you had one word to describe that concert, what would you say?
I would say revival. I
Oh,
posted that on my Instagram. It was a revival. It's kind of like you just have this build up to one thing for like months and you finally get to do it. And it's like a euphoric experience when you're actually there seeing them. And we got pretty good. We got pretty close too.
hell yeah, bro.
You Basshole fans got to go check out Zach Bryan if you haven't. It's good stuff.
Maybe we get a new segment, a Zach Bryan song of the day, and then that's after Juancho's Where's Juancho? It's like a 1 minute segment. I think that'd be kind of interesting.
Be kind of
See a little bit more than just the Timberwolves side of me and Chris, because we got some interesting.
we had a podcast about random shit not too long ago.
Right.
Get a few more topics from that in there.
But yeah, I think this is a great spot to wrap it up. Again, happy National Inbox Zero Day. Make sure to clear up those inboxes and text messages. And everyone, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys with Doogie next week.